Mandyana Timiram Gananjana Shalakaya Chaksharam Militam Yena Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu Bhutare Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschada Desha Shikalpatrubhischa Kripasindu Hivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasri Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Anjanaspate Swing Dushkaram Sukaramabe Vismudeve Paritam Samstane Krishna Krishna. Welcome back to the most philosophical part of our Bhakti for Life course for the most brave students and Bhakti yogis. So, last time we discussed our first topic, which was about we discussed about definitions. What is philosophy? What is theology? Very academic approach. And maybe we are not used usually to speak in this language, this form of language. So, but then at the end we shift to our more familiar classification of knowledge. We put it also in our chart. This is small discutirali o katem stobol definicija kaj je filozofija, kaj je teologija. Potem smo malo na koncu predstavili malo bolj nam domače razdelitev znanja, bolj domača razdelitev znanja, to smo dali na glasno desko oziroma naš levičar. What do you remember from last time? It was 1 week ago. So many things happened in between. So many meetings, so many services, so many mantras. Do you remember everything? Anything?
Yes.
What was remain in your consciousness that you were not able to sleep at all? Let's hear that points. Okay.
We said about theology that involves God, science about God.
Okay.
And philosophy, the meaning of the word that comes from Greek, and that means the one who and Sophia means knowledge, means wisdom. One who likes the
We discuss about the wisdom.
Yeah.
Discuss about.
And then we established that all this Vedic literature, Bhakti in his book, established 7 main subjects. Every part of Vedic knowledge we hear or we read or we study, we can put and do some of these 7 categories.
Okay, a little correction. So the first one is 7, 8, 9. We didn't speak about the Vidya nothing here, no?
Okay.
So it's actually this is 1. This is 2, but it's 7. This 1 to 7 is 8.
This is subcategories of someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is 9, this is 10. First is one, discussion where knowledge comes from. This is between the relationships, tattvas, which means which we categorize in 7 areas. Then is the process, how to reach the goal. This is the goal. So altogether 10. That means dasha. Dasha means 10. Mula means root. Dasha means Mula means root or means foundation. And Tattva means truth, knowledge, science. 10 foundational truths. The same family listening. So this is what already existing, but not categorized. This motivation was also made by Stein Maharaj. It's like an exit. And what is more interesting, Bhakti did another unzip. He also unzipped this to 20. So you have 3, 1 plus 3. This is 1.
How difficult is it to read this book? How difficult is it?
Very simple.
Yeah.
Many are shlokas.
But Bhakti could have a very impeccable English, Socratic English.
Bhakti Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who he was the Acharya who gave you extremely systematic. So systematic. All this systematization was done by him. Majority of this classification. And one such a book which is gem, among others, one is Sri Chaitanya Samrita. You came on the right place. We discussed about philosophy, theology, epistemology. This is your main topic, right? And that's the more.
Maybe it's not here because here is
Anyway, this is the just it's not that you have to remember, but that you just that you know that exists. And for serious study, the rest of študij naše filozofije je to fantastično. We will enjoy it because it's so. And this Dasamula Tattva, ta knjiga, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Guru of Srila and the son of Bhakti, he said this is the most, for him, this is the most elaborate, the best commentary on Bhagavatam. Because all the Bhagavatam, he put in this 10 topic. All Bhagavatam, 10,000 verses, put in this 10. And he selected the shlokas, no? The shlokas from the Bhagavatam, this is 10, this is about some shlokas explain this, some shlokas explain this, some shlokas explain this. I think I didn't hear a mistake. So not this book, but a book which expands this to all. It's called Bhagavad Arka Marichimana. Very, very simple name. Bhagavad Arka means Bhagavad means Bhagavatam, Arka means sun, Marichi means the ray, man is collection. Collection of the shlokas which are like sun rays of Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Arka Marichimana is which this can expands to 20. It's not good. This is for your entertainment. Jana, you know this about this book? Bhagavad Arka Marichimala, have you ever heard? Are you there? Janama? Arka means sun. Marichi means the ray, Jarak, Sanshi Jarak. Sanshi Jarak Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Arka Marichimala. For that book, Bhakti said is the most systematic Bhagavatam commentary. Жare, Bhagavatam e kod sonce, ki razprašuje tema in kot sonce, ki razpraši tema, žarki, ki razpraši so ti. I mean, okay, this is just to throw a little, it's called teasers. If you want to go deeper, it's unlimited. It's unlimited depth. There is no limit how you can research, go deep. Shika Durga Sasponta and other things you remember from last time. So we discuss about these 7, not discuss, we just list them. But just to have feeling that nothing is, how to say, nothing is chaotic. Nothing is just thrown there. For example, okay, let's discuss examples. Podobno je with Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a similar thing. It's a very systematic book. And Acharyas, Prabhupada represents the peak of the Acharyas, so he took from other Acharyas. They explain why Krishna speaks certain shloka in certain place. It's not that, Mas visoko, Krishna govori, ne se govori tako, da sam nekaj, da je tam en versus govoril, da zapolni plac. But it's not just to fill up the space in the book or in the conversation, but there is a purpose, namen, zakaj Krishna zbil ta vers v tem mestu. So there is some flow, many flows, of course, but thought pattern, how Krishna preaches to, of course, not to Arjuna, but to all of us. Depends on the level of consciousness where we are. So there are many, where Krishna changes the strategy in the Gita. Okay, now I preach that, and then he just shifted. He starts to speak something from different perspective. Se pravi, nekaj razlagam, spremeniti je na drug način posluša Arjuna. Prepričati, karkoli že, or Arjuna or living. So it's a very, very exciting, zelo tako razborljivo dinamika. Okay, so this is the topic of philosophy, which is like for those who like philosophy and systematization. This is like a child who go to the sweet shop. Really for those who have this kind of mentality. It's not for everyone. Although we need to discuss, because without philosophical understanding, we will not be able to control the mind. It's possible, but not possible. Possible means, se pravi, brez da bi filozofsko bili ozadje, je težko kontrolirati um. Because we are tamas and rajas, so all these proposals of the mind, like, why this, no? Intelligence should be okay, cool down, it's not important, it cools down. If intelligence has philosophical anchor. You know what is anchor? Sidro. If the intelligence has Buddhi intelligence has a philosophical anchor. It means this anchor means it's stably convinced in the Vedic knowledge, Guru Parampara. No? Then this of course it is observed, it is visible in determination and faith. Function of intelligence or connected with the knowledge is faith, zaupanje, vera in odločnost. We are don't have doubts, and we are not like insecure. This is important topic actually. Okay, so this is also seminar for its own. We will do, maybe if someone really interested, you can do also that part of that. And can anyone explain the triangle down there? With something? Is anyone so brave that can, try to explain what is this? What is this triangle there? Kata triugotnik, zvonte? Zaupa ga lotit. How it's called? First, kako smo ga imenovali? We said that every philosophy has to have it, has to explain this in their own way, because different philosophies, but how to have answer in this and these topics and relations.
The relationship.
Okay.
And
what is the relationship between Sambandha and ontology? What is ontology? Do you remember ontologia? This is Western terminology. This is actually Sambandha. Ontology is philosophy has 4 categories usually. Epistemology means the source of knowledge. Ontology is Sambandha. It defines the elements of the system, how they are related. Definire elementi dello sistema, cosa coesiste.
Maybe I should read this stuff. All right.
So usually we have three elements here in the system. Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti. Means Jiva Bog, Lord, in Narada. Which chapter is this? In Gita is this?
In Gita.
Prakriti Purusha. So when we speak about Sambandha or ontology, it's this Western expression. We discussions about Jiva, God, and his energies, right? What is here in Seven is all about that. Krishna Tattva about God, Krishna Shakti, his energies. There is a relationship between also. There is a relationship with God. Jiva, Jiva in the spiritual world, Jiva in the material world, and how God is controlling the creativity, how this world is functioning. He's here, but he's not here. He's up there. Inconceivable, nepojmljiva, spravi, enakost in različnost, to pomeni v slovenščini. Je tu, pa ni tu. Je tu, ker ima kontrolo prek svojih energij, pa ni tu, ker je osebno kontrolo z dovoljnim sledom. So this ontology plays these 3 elements and their relationships. And this is from gravity here. 1, 2, 3. Jiva, material nature or Prakriti, Jiva Tattva, Prakriti and Ishvara, God. So every philosophy should explain what is this and how they are related. This is called ontology triangle or Sambandha triangle. Se vrei doi ontologici piccoli che definire tre elementi in il razmero scuole. So with this triangle, this scheme you can explain philosophy, ontology part of philosophy. Tre elementi sono un sistema che mi ovranno filosofia di possibilità. How Jiva and material nature, material world is connected through these laws. Trigunas, karma and incarnations mostly. We are here bounded by trigunas and the karmic laws. We are conditioned. So we are feitos karma para triguna. Relationship between God and this world is found. He is the creator of this, and he controls through his energy of time for Kala Chakra. Kala means time. Kala Chakra. Chakra means clock. So this is Kala. Just. The Kala Chakra is all the stars in astrology are circled around pole star, Dhruva Loka, and the power which pushes this is Kala Chakra. It's called Kala Chakra. The energy of time, the 17, and that pushes into the motion karmic law. That's why there's connection between the stars and the karma of the person. It's micro and macrocosmos. And there is connection, of course, between God and Jiva. We are part and parcels. The connection is that we want to divide the relationship, right? Between Jiva. Does this make sense? What took us missing?
Yeah.
Is it
But it doesn't actually desirable to repeat over and over again.
Can you explain?
I can try.
And point.
This trend is
What? I don't know. What is this trend?
every philosophy has to explain this relationship between God, jivas, living beings, and material nature or prakriti. So God is controlling jivas and I will take it slowly. Just jivas. It's controlling living beings through his energy. That this energy is the karma, the three gunas, and reincarnation. Three gunas, this material nature. And also the material world is controlled by God to the entire creation. The creation is controlled by Kala, by Kala Chakra, time. And our relationship with God is to reconnect to yoga. Juk means to reconnect, relate.
And yes, and what is the modern philosophy about? How modern philosophy explains? How modern philosophy expressed? How explains this?
They are replacing God. They are, I mean, ignoring God in this triangle, and actually, it's not anymore a triangle.
Yes.
Because they are eliminating God, and they are saying that it's an evolution, Darwinism, they are trying to explain true
Yeah.
love is
It's only
that everything came from nothing.
a chance, but so there's no control, there's no internal design. So they don't accept this. So it's not theological. This is theological that involves this. So any serious or bona fide philosophy, it has to have this three. But those atheists, if they just do like this, make sense?
Yeah.
Can you actually?
Jaz kot duša sem pogojena duša in vplivajo name tri gune. In to v materialnem svetu pač delujem tako, kot deluje, s temi gunami in s to pogojenostjo.
Sono da tri potem vedete, provate ga opisati. Katere tri elemente vsebuje ontologija? Which three elements are involved in the... Katere tri elementi so v opisu?
So...
Tu vedete, tu vedete.
Ja, če ne bom tudi tja.
Ok, da bi dali spodaj.
Živa.
Geobitje.
Ja, geobitje.
Geobitje.
Materialni svet, kot bivamo, pa Bog.
Tako.
Ja.
Se pravi, to so tri elemente za življenje člena, pa samo morate razložiti še relacijo med geobitjem pa materialnim svetom, kaj je povezava, kakšen je odnos, kakšna relacija.
To, da pač delujem v tem materialnem svetu z svojo naravo, kakšno kot imam, tremi gunami, kar je
Kako oni delujejo na geobitje?
karma,
Ja,
tri gune,
tako?
pa
Reinkarnacija.
reinkarnacija.
Ta relacija med geobitjem in realnim svetom je to. To je situacija. Pač relacija med materialnim svetom, ko vidimo vesoljnim, pa med Bogom, a obstaja za sebe, a se povezano.
Ja, kako kdo gleda,
Recimo, če bomo več skupaj.
ja, seveda je povezano.
Tako,
Tako da je Bog ustvaril, to so
Pravi,
realno
je ena od energij, gospod,
ja, ki je ustvaril,
kreacija,
ja,
te del se kreacija opisuje, ne?
in s časovnico, tako nisem razumela, kaj je časovnica s tem.
Časovnica? Ne. Kako kontrolira, kako izvaja, kako se materialne stvari izvaja stvari? Kako? Skozi energijo, čaka energija. Kada čaka is energy of the Lord, no? Which distracts. So this is energy which moves karmic laws. Poganja, materialna narava, da deluje kot prišlo kontrolo.
By time.
The purpose of material world is done through time. Namen, zakaj namen materialni svet energije se izvaja prek energije časa, obstaja pokon. Čez to, čez ta kanal. In še tretja relacija je pa? Kakšna relacija med živim bitjem pa Bogom?
V srcu, v duši.
Kaj smo mi, žive duši? Yes, we are also energy.
Njegova.
Mi smo njegova energija. Yes,
Ja.
kakšna energija smo? What kind of energy? Is extended into material world, right?
Marginal.
Marginal pomeni marginal. Pomeni marginal. Mejna. Kaj pomeni mejna? Zakaj smo mejna? Zakaj živo biti mejna energija? Why živa is marginal energy?
Zato, ker
There is actually three energies, right? Internal, external and marginal. Notranja je duhovni svet, zunanja je materialni svet in mejna to je živo bitje. Why is marginal? Why is it called marginal? Yes. No, because we are always under one of these two. Always. We cannot stand alone. Either we are under this or under this.
Ker je moja volja, kaj želim, ali ne vem, volja Boga, da se zgodi potem, da je tam Bhakti.
Zakaj smo podelali drugo? Je zdaj vprašanje svobodne volje, ne? But we are marginal, so that's why we are influenced with two energies. In material world, spiritual world, this is not there. So we are always under them. Internal energy. Right? My pure devotees are always under my internal energy.
Res ima izkus na ograji.
So means mena means metastable. So we are here or there. That's why the Prabhupada said we are always under some energy, you know. When it said,
And attachment is a natural ecology.
so why?
You have to
Where this comes from? Attachment.
attach.
Why is that attachment there? Why Jiva is attached always?
Živa svetom.
Jupiter. Zakaj Jupiter vedno vezan? Zakaj je to naravno stanje živega bitja? Cannot be that it's not attached.
To, kar rabi ljubezen, pa je vse.
It cannot be standing on this.
Okay, you also said?
Rabi ljubezen, dati in sprejemati. To je dvigno.
Super, ker the natural, conditional or state of the jiva is he is in love, right? The bottom values that there are two needs.
To be
That-
We love and consider the state of the soul. So we are always attached. Originally, in first state, we attach first to object of our love, which is Krishna. In material world, this attachment is to be directed by covering by ignorance, neznanje skrije, to smo zgubili stik z obeh ravnovesij in smo pa smerni na drugi.
Potem ta relacija med Živo in Bogom, tudi to, da ostaneš tako čvrst, da to ohraniš, da nisi, kar si vedno manj, ne? Ampak da v bistvu se vsem prekucneš k Bogu, je potem to zelo pomembno, to mi to danes zazvenelo, zaresonirano, zaupanje, vera, odločnost.
One thing, this triangle is only valid in material world.
Aha.
Ta triangle velja za materialni svet, ker v duhovnem svetu ni tega. In to ni relevantno, ker ni zakon, karmični vršni dobila, mi smo v zvonem stanju. So this connection between the God, Krishna and soul in this world is that we reconnect, that we revive our original state or our original state. Now, quando se pregõe na mente, da mi nazaj prebudimo svoje zvono stanje.
Ampak kako ga pridobimo tako, da imamo
Kako?
zaupanje.
This is the topic of Avideya. How?
Ja,
How we revive things?
drži.
Avideya. This is metaphysics. I know this is ethics in philosophy, and this is metaphysics in philosophy. Four categories: epistemology, ontology, ethics, and metaphysics in Western philosophy.
Ampak to lahko po mojem vsakmu pojasniš, tudi tako ni.
That's the point. And Gita has 5 topics, right? Gita explains discuss 5 topics: Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti, Kala, and Karma. Prakriti discuss this: Jiva, Prakriti, Ishvara, Kala, and Karma. These are 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is an ontological book, mainly. That's why I said this Gita is ABC, right? Because if you grab ABC, you don't understand what is the process. If you understand this, then this is relevant. Otherwise, if you don't understand this, if you don't understand what is yoga. What is yoga about? Huh? Why yoga is there? This is one perspective of philosophy. It's not the only one, but
If you can understand this, I think then you can put, this is like a skeleton. Then you can
Yeah,
put it little by little. Practice.
if someone asks you on the street, what is Hare Krishna?
Oh
Is
my
this-
God.
First we explain this, then we explain this. So first explain Hare Krishna is based on the Vedas. This is knowledge which is not contaminated by human mistake, it's divine. Once in- That's why we accept it.
To bi prevedite.
Se pravi, če vas kdo vpraša, kaj je Hare Krishna, je to te 10 stvari. En, dva, ki je 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is complete covering of philosophy. There's nothing else there. Святой Христиан, вот он вас цепляет конкретно разумел Hare Krishna. И najprej pojasnimo, odkot to jame. To se res ne smislo, ampak sprejemo znanje, veliko znanje, ki temelji na znanju, ki je božansko, karkoli to imenuje, ki nima petih, štirih človeških napak, ki nas omenjali, in se prenaša, and they are transferred of special system. In se prenaša po vsem sistemu učitelja učencev. This is first, 2 stavka temelja. This knowledge explains these topics. It explains 3 elements in creation. Se pravi, opisuje 3 elemente v kreaciji. Živo biti nas, svet okoli nas in Boga. He can then explain all this stuff, right? How God has different energies, different relationships, okay, you can explain this. Then what is the goal? The goal has still to put it is one of the reasons, be loved and know to love and to be loved, and how to achieve it. And this how to achieve it became condensed in one sentence. Chant Hare Krishna. This is the process. That's why we chant Hare Krishna to revive this love.
Yeah.
So it's complete. Completa filosofija v zelo jedrnani obliki. Cilj je prebuditi uspavno ljubezen, ki vsi iščemo vsakega bitja. In najbolj močna metoda je peti Hare Krishna. To ti pojem Hare Krishna. To smo Hare Krishna. So this is very, you can in your mind, you have complete structure. What you will tell next. For one who is qualified listener, who don't hear, who sluša. But for their confidence, za vašo samozavest je to podobno.
No, nekdo pa želi razpravljati o tem.
Yeah, you want to, you can discuss this and academic. Devotee, simple devotee without a degree. Vsak bhakta je brez degree, lahko enakovredno diskutira z profesorji akademiki filozofije. That's so powerful is this knowledge. So exact and so systematic. Jana, are you there? Jana is smiling.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Arriba!
We have academic philosopher on the other side of our zone. You know, you are aware of this book, Dashamula Tattva and Bhagavad Arka Marichimala? You know about this book?
No.
No. No, how is that possible? Immediately you should study. You will cry in ecstasy. You will cry in ecstasy. Okay, okay, this was a little recap from, but this is the map for whole this entire unit and model. We'll go to these different topics. Sambandha, you will see. You will recognize, oh, this is about Krishna, Tattva. Okay, oh, this is about material world. Oh, this is about the time. Oh, it's about the creation. When the creation is discussed, then you will see why creation is there so important. Zakaj je osmi dan ustvaril? Why on the seventh day he created that? No, because it's explaining the relationship between the God and the material world. So it's and when you speak with other tradition, you can ask questions. How God is connected with this world? How material world is connected with us? Right? Here you can also explain the Jyotish, astrology, everything you can explain here. So it's like practical and very useful tool. Okay. This was a little warm up. So really, hopefully it was not too demanding. The niveau preveč zahtevno. Bilo je, ampak ali bo se pomaga. So the first topic is the first topic there also. Methods of attaining knowledge. This is the topic of Pramana, epistemology. And you have, this is page 13. Yeah, please. Can you read?
The starting point in philosophical discussion is epistemology, establishing the basis of knowledge. Jiva Goswami lists in his Dharma 10 methods of attaining knowledge, including tradition, history, guessing, comparison, probability, and logic, and shows how all of them fit into 3 main categories.
Okay, a little comment. So Jiva Goswami, we know who is Jiva Goswami, right? One of the 6 Goswamis, and his task was to establish a philosophy background. The old 6 Goswamis, but Jiva Goswami was the most systematic and he defined everything what is possible. So he of course, he analyzed this Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the most important Vedas, right? Srimad Bhagavatam is the most important literature in the world, the most. Vedas consist of 10 billion verses. 7 milliard verses of Vedas. And the majority is lost in Kali Yuga. It's not accessible. But what is most important in the Vedas is included in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Bhagavatam is book enough to have everything in Gita.
If they accept it, because if they don't accept it.
And this is the topic. This is the topic of Jiva Goswami. First, he analyzed Bhagavatam and put in 6 sandarbhas. This is study of Bhagavatam in 6 books. And the first book is called Sandarbhas. Sat means 6. Sandarbhas means analysis of the Bhagavatam. And the first book is only about how to establish what is the source of knowledge. It's called Tattva Sandarbha. Tattva Sandarbha. So I mean, analyzes what is the knowledge, what is the source of knowledge. It's all about pramana. It's a very famous book where he proves that Bhagavatam is the highest possible reference of knowledge. Se pravi, on je spostavil, da je Šrimad Bhagavatam izmed vseh najbolj pomembno referenca, s katerim se mi dokazujemo, karkoli rečemo. So whatever we say, if we can prove with Bhagavatam, stop. There is no need to discuss everything else because Bhagavatam says.
A to se potem vedno sklicuje, to je v te Bhagavatam številki, šloki, da.
So the most powerful proof for something, what you say, is Bhagavatam. It's not university, it's not Harvard, it's not Oxford, it's not that, but Srimad Bhagavatam, if this Bhagavatam is top true. And this is proved by Jiva Goswami in this analysis, Tattva Sandarbha is called. Tattva Sandarbha is very famous work. And from that book, and that book discusses what is the proof for something you say, how you prove the truth. Kako dokažeš, da je resnica, kako je dokažeš resnico?
Ki je tu zapisano.
Ja, ko nekaj ti diskutiraš, kaj veš, da je res? Kako veš, da je res? Ti nekaj rečeš, on nekaj reče, jaz nekaj rečem, jaz imam prav, ti imaš prav, smo prav, ne. To je, this is how, in the ancient times, how philosophers were discussing. They have to agree how we will prove my statement. When filozofi diskutirajo, prvo se zmenijo, kaj bomo mi dokazovali, kaj jaz rečem. So in the ancient time it was known, they have the rules. If you quote the Vedas, that's how then you're bona fide, then you were destroying philosophy. But Jiva Goswami and Sri Goswami, they established, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the highest, even other Vedas say differently, the highest among the Vedas is Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Bhagavatam is so glorified and why Prabhupada wanted to present to the West.
But what about Western people which are most atheistic, and also in India, these karmic people which are after
Yes.
karmic things?
Yes.
So maybe they don't accept Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Of course they don't. That's why they are an illusion. That's why they cannot give solution. There are 6 interpretations of the Vedas. There are 6 schools how to interpret it, how they interpret the Vedas also. And the highest is Vedanta Sutra, is Vedanta, is Vyasadhyam. There are other munis and philosophers which discuss about, one said the karma kanda is the highest, whatever I work, I deserve, Krishna also.
Yeah, because they can say, this, here, this.
Yes, that's it, of course. And that's why, to clarify, that's why Krishna comes. That's why do Krishna pride pa ne tole najviše. Kadar je zmeda, kadar je confusion is there, Krishna has to come. When this knowledge is lost, what is the highest? Krishna has to come. And he came 5,000 years ago and 500 years ago to re-establish. No, this is the highest. Ko se zgubi, Krishna pride v materialni svet in ne tole najviše. That's the point. So discussion about the source of knowledge is very important. It's usually the first among the scholars of philosophy.
Questa fascia di lasciamo priavo, miserata fascia di naša prosta v svojem poklicu.
Špekter se za?
Ja, za hrano, hasno jeste.
Okay.
A bi šel ti še rano, hrano boš videl, kako rekla. Ti nič nazva.
Kaj pa ti?
Se ne znam, samo hočem, da ti reš, ono, da rekla, kako se spremeniti, pa boljša.
Ti ga snemaj. Snemaš kaj. Ja.
Hai de other thing, Helmi Kitchen.
Mai Bhakti, to videla.
Yes.
Krishna, Krishna.
Și eu prea n-am.
Ce pășa.
Și pe când zahran,
Ia, sunt tare. Kitchen. Lucra în Cilguvariu. N-are problemă. Inspecții n-are problemă de similă să ne punijăm. În Cilguvariu. Să ne punem.
Ok.
Perché poi ho prestito a fare se mi tocco vedere, un po' di seguita, ecco, se poi sapere, ma se per fare.
Ok.
Che ora? Che oh, non c'è.
Okay, we continue with our so also in that topic is methods how we obtain the knowledge. Methods. And here Jiva Goswami explore that in the Bhagavad, the Vedas, there are 10 main topics, 10 main methods. Tradition, history, guessing, comparison, probability, logic, but he analyzed that all comes to 3 categories. This is very famous, 3 categories. How we obtain knowledge. These 3, which now we speak.
Maybe
Yes.
pratyaksha, direct sense perception, the knowledge we get with the 5 senses. Anumana, mental reasoning, literally to follow, anu, the mind mana. And shabda, authoritative testimony, literally sound.
Okay, so 10 methods are now categorized in 3 main. One is pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means prati aksha. Aksha means to see. Directly see. But this means what we get through these 5 knowledge acquiring senses, which are the
Vision,
eyes, taste, ears, hearing,
and nose, sense.
smell, and one more? Yes, touch, skin. So one way of receiving knowledge is to see, to hear, to taste, to smell, and to touch. This is how we understand it. We understand the nature of the objects, right? But this is one. The second method is method which includes the function of intelligence. So what this information which comes from direct 5 senses, then intelligence can analyze with the logic, right? And categorization, no? But no. So for example, if you see there is a smoke, this example is given. If you see the smoke behind the hills, you can then make a logic. Oh, if there is a smoke, there must be a fire. So fire is there. No, this is the second method, which is usually called anu, means follow, mind. Mana means, of course, mind. So what mind, because all the knowledge from the senses comes to the mind, right? And then mind and intelligence, of course, analyze and comes to conclusion. This is called in English interference. Interference means also contemplation, means analysis, synthesis, all these different functions of the intelligence. And the third is Shabda. This is knowledge which comes from authority. Here, usually we say that this is Vedic authority. Of course, it's true, but also other famous example in the normal world is that example Prabhupada gives in the Upanishad, if you remember. If you want to know who is your father, right, is you can analyze the DNK and you can ask, do surveys, but the most proper is to ask your mother. Right? This is like when you get the source, you get the source of that particular area. So here we have examples how these three methods would apply for certain topic. Can you just read? So maybe you see, you can discuss a little bit about that.
Kako bi lahko uporabili vsako od treh metod, da bi ugotovili sledeče? Velikost sonca, kaj je na radiju, ali božiček zares obstaja, koliko časa traja, da stvaremo 10 pakor, kako filmarji ustvarjajo posebne efekte. Kakšno uporabo in omejitve ima vsak od teh treh metod?
Okay, yes. So let's discuss one of these so we can understand what is the size of the sun. How big is the sun? Can we go use all three methods? How would be pratyaksha? How would be direct senses? How would we estimate? Kako bi ocenili z našimi čutili velikost sonca?
Tako da je nam vroče, da čutimo skozi kožo, da nam je vroče.
Size.
A je velikost?
Velikost.
Očki. Z očmi.
Yeah, with the eyes, of course.
Ask somebody who knows.
Okay, but only pratyaksha. Now it's just with our senses. So with our senses, we can just see.
Yeah.
You can see, okay, like this. Our senses cannot perceive, don't have the domain. We cannot reach that. We can just like, uncle can like do like that.
Not even look.
Yeah, now you can know, you have to even, yeah, maybe when it's clouded, then you can see. Okay, this is one. Okay, well, how is done with Anumana?
We can speculate. It can be like a watch, smaller, like a nut, like I don't know. And then we hear from.
Okay, how scientists do?
They are measuring.
Kako znanstveniki ugotovijo veliko sonca?
They are speculating.
Ne, pošljejo te rakete in vse to te neke satelite in to in
But they
slike.
can reach this.
So they observe is one, maybe with these telescopes and maybe infrared, they observe. And they, according to they measure time, how long is, travels, and then they calculate. Usually they do by calculation, and this is Anumana. Huh? You measure, and then you calculate and analyze what you have measured, what you have seen, right? This is the Anumana.
But
And
it's not exact, it's not right.
yeah, this is one.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes they are actually, no, we were wrong.
No, ampak kolikor znanost pač dopušča, toliko pač povejo.
So this is the second method. And third method, what is the size of the sun? In this case, yes?
Kaj je tretja?
Kaj je tretja metoda? Prva metoda je direktno, kar mi vidimo, druga je z meritvami pa z izračuni. And the third is that we hear from the Vedic sources. There is a number how big it is.
Spet.
Yeah, to go is it. This is for this example. So Vedas give us. This is one example. Okay, let's do one more down to earth example. What is on the radio? Kaya na radio. You have one radio station, and you just turn on, and
Nice.
how you can define what is happening in the radio station? What will be the first method? Care la prva metoda, če si imamo videti, kaj na radio.
Hearing.
Žgečka.
Just hear, and you just say what is there, okay?
Hearing.
What would be the second method? Anumana.
To speculate.
How can you speculate? For example, how can you? Recimo, da imate radijsko postajo, pa možete videti, kaj je na postaji, kaj se predvaja na postaji. What is going on this radio station now? Kaj bi bila ta druga metoda? Za logiko pa za uporabo podatkov skušamo ugotoviti, kaj je. What would be?
A pa še nisem slišala tega, ali šele bom prižgala, že poslušam.
To je prva že.
Aha, se pravi, že slišim.
What would be the example of using second method?
Pa špekuliram.
Ask somebody who knows what things.
Okay, that is already asking someone, right?
Jaz pa tudi sam že špekuliraš, pa ne, kaj je za to? Mislim,
For example, if it's every week at the same time.
Refuse that. Must be.
Če veste, da se vedno v isti uri pojavlja, ne? Pol lahko iz tega, for example, if every day 7:30 in the evening is a news, so then probably you will, okay, it's now 7:30, or maybe this is a news. So use the previous knowledge and you compare, okay, this time usually is the news, there may be the news. So you analyze, right? You use what you heard, and then yes, you can understand. This is the second method, right? By analyzing, or maybe that could be. So it's changed, and it's not. But the most authorized way is to know what is on the radio station. Is what will be the third method?
Something so.
Pogledaš program.
Yes, you see the program of the owner of the radio station.
Yeah.
That's the fix, you know. They know because they're creator, right? They made the program. They made the program. So it's a. So this is an example of these approaches on every of this topic. Make sense? Is this? For those things which are quite like obvious. No, which is in our everyday can be, it's quite, but for things which are not within our scope of our senses, this is most difficult. For example, some topics are untouchable. For example, what happens after death? How you will approach with the senses? What is happening after death? Near that experience, you don't have. Even in the level of psychology is already a problem, right? Because you can just measure something, but you indirectly measure. You know, that's why it's so difficult to, for example, to understand the function of the mind.
Spiritual life.
Yeah. So it's you know, because so many, if you have so many information about experimental observation of the mind, because is a vata element, you know, it's so many different responses for different situations. So that's why so many models of psychology are there. You know, that model of that, Jung, that, you know, so many experimental and analytical models which come from the bottom up. We analyze and we try to that's why we mentioned before so many times is new models coming up, right? Because they get, oh, they found something else, another perspective, right? And the model is changed. This is how science works. And science works on these first two methods, right? Experiment, they analyze, and try to put into the mathematics, right? Usually it's like that, no? Spre експериментираме, послушай то да справи математичен модел да маја.
Enačba.
Ja, pa naravne zakone, ki poznamo. But of course, the most perfect knowledge which comes up down from the creator, from the source. That's why Vedic knowledge is so profound and important. Okay, for your homework, you can try to do other 3 questions. Whether or not there is really a Santa Claus. How long it takes to fry 100 eggplant pakoras? How the filmmakers create their special effects? So this is so you understand different methods which are there. Okay. Any questions? Any thoughts about this? How is this topic? Is you heard about it? You heard about this already, no? Many times. So of course, on the page 14 we have now how different methods have different limitations. We mentioned direct sense perception, it's limited. For the eyes, dark. If there is no light, you cannot see. If it's out of our spectrum, you cannot perceive like that. How would be reasoning and analytical approach or logic could be limited? What do you think?
We are subjective to this four faults in this material.
Okay, let's jump in ahead. Okay. What would be another? Okay, then four faults with this. What else? Kaj bi še lahko bilo? Zakaj je analitično pa logični pristop lahko pomanjkljiv?
Kaj je analitični in logični
Pristop pridobivanja znanja lahko pomanjkljiv.
It's limited about our knowledge. And we don't know everything. We can make mistakes.
Okay, do mistakes. What would affect, kaj bi lahko vplivalo na ta pristop? Naprimer, what could affect analytical approach or the result? What parameters? For example.
In ta smo rekli še analitični.
To je analitični, logični, ne? To je ta anomana, ne? Da mi analiziramo pa logično sortiramo podatke. For example, why there are different opinions? Okay, one has different background of the knowledge. What else would?
Analitično pa logično se mi zdi, da je zelo različno, tako individualno.
Why? Question is why? What could influence that?
Zato, ker imamo vsi neke notranje.
Emotions, for example, mind, yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of attachment, maybe, yes, okay. What else, kaj bi še lahko vplivalo na to, da ima različno nekdo logiko ali pa analizo?
Predznanje, razumevanje.
Okay, yes, knowledge, background knowledge, what else? She said attachment, no? What else is usually, what is usually the problem if one has one is attachment, of course. Okay, yes. What else is there? Could be the factor which could influence our logic. kaj lahko vpliva, kateri parametri lahko vplivajo, kateri parametri, na primer, bi lahko vplivali na našo logiko ali na našo analizo, da bi do nekega znanja. Kaj bi še lahko vplivalo?
I suppose it's very simple.
Hmm?
I suppose it's something very simple.
No, it's not right or wrong. It's not right or wrong. It's just to understand how this mechanism, why this is not the perfect approach. That's the discussion, right? Okay, we mentioned that for just after that, we mentioned.
Moje prepričanje, če se pogovarjamo o božiču, če se pogovarjamo o božiču.
Yeah, convictions, faith, yes. I'm looking for one particular. If one is connected with detachment, motivation could be also. You have a specific motivation for position or for fame, and then you're like, so you are biased. Then three modes, no? One is sattva is different than one is rajas and tamas. No? So it's a different perspectives. Okay, so now the final topic for us, you already know it, it's about. So it's about 4 imperfections, which is characteristic for human being. So here in the page 14, you will see also about Vedic authority. What is the characteristic? Huh? Can you just read it now? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Vedas are like the one to the material world.
Sanatha?
To the artist knows.
Just wait, she can find her translation.
O vedski avtoriteti.
Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, please.
Third, inductive by all straight and deductive that comes down knowledge. If the authority is perfect, then hearing is the perfect method. Or we can experiment and come to the same conclusion, but accepting authority will save us time. Correct. 5. The Vedic knowledge is described as about Bhukshaya, not of men. 6. The Vedas are accepted as axiomatic.
These are interesting characteristics of Vedas. Huh? They don't have human source. They accept it as axiomatic, so it's as it is, right? So one important thing according to the method, it's not that the pratyaksha and anumana, first two are wrong always, right?
But they don't.
They're not ultimate. They can be, they can be right, but we cannot depend on them on. That's the point. If they are in line with Vedic authority, it's acceptable. Right? If it's against, there is no life after death, is because we usually the argument, we never saw one coming back, right? That's our pratyaksha logic, right? We never saw one coming back. But Vedas, so that's why this are not absolute. Okay, and let's now read the 4 imperfections of the human being, conditioned soul. Okay, can you read, Nataka, first?
Nepopolni čuti.
Yes.
Karanapatakava, čuti, ki so omejeni in so zlahka zavedeni.
Okay, next.
Varanje, vipralipsa, propagirati neresnico, predstaviti se kot nekaj, kar nismo. Iluzija, pramada, sprejeti kot resnično nekaj, kar ni resnično. 4 pomanjkljivosti pogojene duše.
Še ga se prila, ne? Brahma.
3 manj. Pa ni najbrž. Karanapatava, vipralipsa, pa pramada.
En napake, Brahma. Človeška se moti, to je 4.
Okay.
So the Vedic knowledge is defined the knowledge which doesn't have this 4. This is the main definition. It doesn't have this form. We don't have, if we don't have perfect senses, that's clear, right? If there is no light, we cannot see from far distance, hear from the far distance. Then we do mistakes, of course, in the sense that we have background, different modes, different motivation, like that. Cheating, why cheating is there? Why you think it's a very interesting perspective? Why cheating is also the option? Why cheating is propensity is there? You heard? You have an idea why cheating is there? Zakaj bi varanje bilo to zraven vedno vključeno? Zakaj ljudje varamo? Zakaj ta napaka toliko prisotna? An idea? I heard one perspective which
we left for Krishna because we thought that we are better than him. Like this. And now we are struggling maybe to show that we are something which we are not. And we are trying to obtain, we cannot obtain what we want like this normal, and we are trying to obtain.
Da bi radi upozorili nas, ne, in potem enostavno se tudi nekaj izmisliti, nekaj zato, da pridobiš pozornost in da pomembnost.
Zakaj bi to dobili? Zakaj bi to pozornost dobili? Why did he said that we want to be important, we want to be seen, we want to be recognized? Why this is there? Zakaj bi to želeli?
Zato, da pridobim ljubezen.
Okay.
Ljubezen, neko naklonjenost.
Okay, we want to be have affection and some appreciation. This is the root. One perspective which I heard was very interesting. That is, we are seeking for pleasure. We are seeking for happiness. Želimo in naša potreba je, da smo srečni. We want to enjoy, we want to be happy. And because this urge is so powerful, for little of that, we are willing to cheat. If something is promising, a position, more affection, fame, opulence, whatever is there, material fame, glory, and recognition. And because we are so dependent on the be happy, we cheat. It's a good one, huh? Because we are anandamaya, we are blissful living entity, and that's strive for happiness, which comes from love and be loved, right? We don't know that, or So for that promise of happiness, we are willing to. We are doing this. We don't have control. We cheat because it's so strong. Because this naravni položaj živeti je srečna in ta želja po sreči je tako močna, da niti ne moramo kontrolirati, da ne varamo, če nam kaj obetamo. It's a good one, no? That's why I cheat. And illusion, because we are illusion, because in the moments we are covered with ignorance.
This is a very nice example I find in the Bible, in Eva, with Eva.
Oh? Forbidden fruits? This is? Okay. Okay. Okay, now the last example. Can you read?
The four defects of the nations are looking for the key under the street light. Using our material mind and senses to find the truth is like the man who dropped his car key in the driveway, but searches for it under the street light, where the light is better. Taking help from the scriptures is like using a torchlight in the driveway.
This was example, and the most famous example is this elephant and the blind people. You know this example? Can you explain it? Lahko razložite?
Dajte mi še enkrat v slovenščini.
Ja, slovenščini sem.
Ja, ti mi povejte v slovenščini, ta, ki je slep.
Se pravi, a nimate tam v knjigi povedali?
To, ki išče pod svetilko.
Ne. V knjigi, tam imate slepec in
Se dotakne roga.
znate, lahko razložite? How do you understand this analogy with the blind people and the elephants?
Ja.
Kako razumete?
Če si slep, in se dotakneš udojne živali ali pa si jih več dotika, imaš tako imaginacijo, to predstavitev tako, da si pač vsak predstavlja drugače to z dotikom, s čutili, pa z tem pojmovanjem, po pojmu predstavitve. Pa to, da pač to, če je mehko, je blizu, ker je mehko, boš nekaj rekel, da je bolj prijetno. Če je nekaj bolj trdega, boš pač našel nek predmet, ki nekaj bolj hladnega, ker je to trdo in hladno. Če je nekaj bolj pokosmatenega, ti je že avtomatično, tako kot imamo pojem predstavitve za živalce, če so kužek je kosmat, je prijeten, ne vem, en ptič, ki ima papirja, ali pa ne vem, en, ki ima neke izbokline, ne vem kaj, krokodil, pa je pustno usta njegova, ti pa že ni všeč, ker je to. No, zdaj sem to nekaj zagrozila.
They can hold different parts of the elephant and they are convinced that this is the elephant.
So are these people wrong? What they are getting? Also, ti slepci imajo narobe.
Ne, vsak ima prav. Seveda, ker je to njegovo čustvo.
So what is the wrong then?
Yeah.
What is then the problem? If they are right, they are right.
The whole picture.
Da vidi vsak svojo veliko sliko.
Thing relative, they don't see holistic.
Ja.
And that's the Vedas. So we can see some things from perspective, and for us it's relative truth, but we don't have the big picture. So Vedic knowledge gives a big picture. So it's not that this person who is holding the tail, he said, yeah, this is also the truth, yes. For that part is true. Yeah, it's like this. It's like a snake. True. With some, some mechanism. So it's true, but doesn't have a big picture. So this is partially. It's not holistic, and that's usually how we also explain. We have this Atma program. We explain like this. We have some understanding, but we don't have a huge picture, holistic. No, and Vedas give a holistic picture, so we orient ourselves. So, and one also perspective or one point here is that we allow the Bustimo, the obstaje druge perspective. They allow that there are some other perspectives. That's why we have open ears when we hear in the Bhagavatam or Vedas, something what we don't understand. Or maybe this perspective I don't know. And even more is like that that we read the same text of Bhagavad Gita is even more can be understood. Yeah. Whatever we read with our conditioned mind is always not perfect. Only Krishna has the perfect vision, right? That's why we have that's why we always learners. That's why we have to be always learner. It's never sure, I heard this 1,000 times beyond this body, but it's not the end. No, it's more to that, which we don't know. So that's why we always humble. When we're hearing every day, we humble. It's not like a basic, this is basic philosophy. Osnovna filozofija, mi smo to tudi slišali, to pa če. Ne, to je brezvezno, ni zanimivo, ne? then because if you have this approach that, I know everything, then we are blocked. Our development and vision is blocked. Because only with the right attitude, this knowledge is revealed. It's another topic, but this knowledge is revealed by attitude, how we have attitude. With humble inquiry, with serving attitude, that's how this knowledge is revealed. Krishna in the heart is the one who opens, gives memory, gives knowledge, and gives forgetfulness. Krishna v srcu da pozabo, spomin.
To je tudi povezano, recimo, ko naš Gurudeva, ko bere Bhagavatam, kar reče tudi tako res ponižno, a veš, pa se mi pa kar na druga perspektiva odpre, kar za iste besede prav, drugač pogled in kompletno sliko vidim pri tej šloki drugačne.
Yes, that's why the meanings is always fresh, new, more perspective, more holistic, more complete. That's why it's this reading and discussing, and it's that they always keep this eagerness, to željnost za hranimo, neko da je vedno sveže, nikoli ni staro. Okay, so this is so this will complete the first unit of the.
Imamo domačo nalogo.
So yeah, for the
Okora, Božiček pa.
Yes, you try to categorize these knowledges for these three examples: Santa Claus, Pakoras, and filmmakers. Just to try to exercise. And then is a next is also a little philosophical. We will go a little. We can read also that part, unit 2, because it's a little bit philosophical, and we will not go into it because it's really detailed, and there is discussion about scientists, intelligent design, and that this is the specific topic, which is maybe too specific for our scope, I would say. How science can prove or disprove the existence of God is a big topic. It's a, there is a lot of material if you want to go into it. This is usually when you have audience with this kind of, you have to debate why God exists, on academic level or intelligent level. It's pravi tema obstoja Boga, ne? Kaj Bog obstaja, ne obstaja, dokazi, znanstveni, karkoli že, ne, tako da nečemo. Last time, topic very specific. Je zelo specifična tema, ki je možno v globino, ker je vezana z ciljno skupino, s katero se soočamo. To se malo preberite. We'll just go through a little bit, but we'll not go in.
Where?
So, yeah, this is we will do a little about the Malbush teacher's faith. Faith is important.
Faith.
Yeah, this two will go through, but that second part, the existence of God, page 23. 29 is all different, Newton model, intelligent design, can scientists believe in God, all this DNK and that stuff, you can just read it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you can also, if you like, you can also present, in 5 minutes, if you like it, if you like this. Nobel Prize winning physicist Robert Millikan said at the meeting on the American Physical Society, is, the divinity that shapes our ends, blah, 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 blah. No, there are specific topics which I think is a little outside our.
But more evidence. Še tudi, če bomo akademsko. Sam preberemo. 26.
Yeah, this is till 29.
29, okay.
This is actually from, you see, Discover Yourself is from one book. It's not so. So we will do a little about faith. Faith is a topic which must be addressed. And then existence of God, but we're not going into that because into the scientific debate. That's the point. Okay. Hopefully, it was not too much for one stroke. So, and then the next topic will be.
No, the material body.
Next will be, we are not this body, but most favorable.
Oh my
most
God.
holy. So we'll start with the Sambandha, right? We'll start with that first element in the system, which is the soul.
I'm talking with my mama about this. Oh, very
Each time
dangerous.
I will ask you refer to this triangle. Where we are now, what we are now discussing, what we are now debating. Okay, thank you for. Okay, thank you, Jana, for your participating. I just now saw your chat. So we see you maybe on Thursday or so. We will announce. Thank you to be with us. Harinam Sankirtanya ki, Shila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Opramanande Bol. Manchakalpatarubhisha. Samadhi, Matutne, Haribol. Just a tipo. Hare Krishna, Haribol.